Well, good morning everybody. As you can see, lovely sunny day. Leaves are still on the trees, despite it being end of September, although trees are a good place to have leaves on, because I'm standing outside Piccadilly Station in Manchester, and if the leaves were on the track, it just disrupts anything. We're off to HYDE today. Yes, you'll be pleased to know I'm going into hiding. No, seriously, HYDE in Cheshire. Little town, market town, never been in my life, and it's famous very much for its significant role it played in the Industrial Revolution, and it had cotton milling as one of its central industries. And the Ashton family, presumably where they got the name for Ashton-under-Lyne, up the road from, they were major players in it. And the town, one of the most famous things the town actually achieved with the HYDE Seals water polo team. I kid you not, because it was 1904 to 1914, and they were the finest in the world, and they won the world championships no less than 3 times. Or is that no fewer than, yeah. Anyway, no fewer, no less than 3 times. Now, HYDE might be a bit infamous because, well, yes, it's the town of that wonderful doctor who never really cured too many people, Dr. Harold Shipman. Roll some music, please. That's fine, thank you very much. And the serial killer, he worked there. He was a respected, at the time, before people knew what he was up to, general practitioner. And it was about 2 decades he was there for. And his killing spree, it went totally undetected for years upon years, simply because he was a trusted member of the community. And I think finally, just before we head off to catch the train, just to mention, HYDE is also home to Hyde Park, yes, but please don't go rushing to get your ladders to come and stand on Speaker's Corner, because no, it's not the real Hyde Park. Well, it is the real Hyde Park because it belongs to HYDE, but I'm sure the only speakers you'll get are a few idiots waving flags, shouting something about plasticine. I don't know whether they never shout about Lego. Right, let's go and get the 1051. It's due at 10:51. And while AHA may claim that the sun only shines on TV, look at this wonderful blue sky outside the magnificent carbuncle that is Piccadilly. And there's the famous sweep of glass buildings. And right, without further ado, see you in HYDE. Well, we've arrived at HYDE Central, and just look at this. A lovely little gate to welcome me. Hey, oh dear, couldn't resist that. Well, I mean, goodness, look at this. The welcome's getting even better. And it's the home of Ron Hill. Yes, Ron Hill. Oh, sorry, can't help with that. Oh, Travis Perkins. Oh, all the right stuff's here. Now I'm really beginning to get worried, all these welcomings. Well, I've just come down from the station, and I know this is contre jour. That's the fancy way, madam, for saying into the sun, but it's very pleasant. Well, they say you only get one chance to make a first impression, and while the buildings above, well, you know, typical modern things leave a lot to be desired, I must say the awnings to keep you dry as you browse on the way into the town are, well, very impressive. Well, in a sort of small eye impressive sort of way. Goodness me, Heavenly Diner and Powerhouse. Oh, what surprises am I in for today? I do like a good shop display, me. Must phone up Debbie Harry and tell her there's plenty of telephones to hang on here. And we seem to have reached the centre of the HYDE multiverse. A van blocking the way, but it's just moving, and there's where the market is normally. And we'll go across the road and have a look at the other side from the market, because aside from this memoriam to the water polo team, which is quite impressive, and a blue plate that's not a blue plate mentioning the town's charter with this pull the plug. I'm not too sure what that means. I may be wrong, but I don't think the chartists of HYDE running around like that would have gotten taken very seriously by the general public. And a real blue plate celebrating Joshua Badley. He was donor of the clock and bells for the town hall. And yet another blue plate, Harry Rutherford, the artist who lived here. Well, let's see where they all lived, worked and were. Yes, it's Hyde Town Hall. And quite a nice looking building as well. Unusual sort of architectural little bits and pieces. The clock tower. That's the one that your man we mentioned earlier donated the bells to. And on the side of the town hall, a commemorative plaque with the stone being laid by Lord Ashton of Hyde. And the main stone was laid in June 1883, as you can see. Again, another Ashton. And just a very quick view of the side of the town hall. And as we swing round a little bit quickly, we'll see we're in the market area. And a little bit of a market going on. Flame and ice. Oh, surely that means water. Never mind. And then we've got a shopping centre. And yet another blue plate commemorating the 125th anniversary of the formation of Hyde Football Club. And what's the blue plate sitting on? Yes, this rather fancy looking White Lion pub. Isn't it lovely? You can see some of the tile work around the doors and the windows. Well, obviously you can see it for yourself. And then I've spied this weird and wonderful architectural detail as we look at what must be one of the pedestrian precincts up the town. Not too sure how to take that, whether it's a news pot or a new spot. And I'm not going down to look, but what's the bets? That's not a council carbuncle. And another nice local, still open. They're proudly displaying a Manchester City flag, but there's a very well established local team, although not a big player, where they pay their players millions of pounds a week just to spit on the floor or on the ground and then put their t-shirts over their head each time they score a goal. And then there's another one here, another free house here coming up called the Cotton Bale. And again, nice to see these are still going. Well, that one is anyway, definitely, because they're loading up. The draymen, as they used to call. Oh, and a post office located in the centre of the town. That could catch on. There's an idea. And then a shop called Wild's Cards. I love that. I hope I'm not going to be disappointed by the owner not being a Mr. or Mrs. Wild. And beside the Jolly Carter, yet another pub. Gosh, town of pubs, and they're all open. And then we came across Mr. Daily Market. He's actually telling fibs. His name is Mr. Fred Market. And this is the end, and of course, direct bargains. I've not seen any signs with misspellings. And there, yet another nice free house. Although Holt, I'm not too sure it is, but lovely pub still open and existing, which is great to see. And then at the top end of the town, opposite the Ultimate Clothing Company, which is famous the length and breadth of this street. We've got the back of this Clarendon Square shopping centre with apartments above. Goodness me. So if you work nights, you won't get a chance of sleeping with all the noise down below. And then a quick flip into the shopping centre. Little bit, suffering like the high street does everywhere. But as I say, it's just after 12 o'clock. Although there should be a few more people be about, but that's the way it is, I'm afraid. And what have I discovered? Yes, Hyde has its own coffee house. I honestly never knew there were so many of them about. I keep saying that each time I discover a new one. Handy luggage, presumably to encourage people to take a break. Oh, and it's quite a big shopping centre. Nice and bright. And I see PCSO people having a little bit of a display. That's Police Constables Special Officers, for those who don't know what that means. And there they are. I just attended the workshop locally yesterday with our own, and he's a lovely man. And as I'm walking through this lovely, brightly lit shopping centre, guess what I saw? It's a market hall. Yes. Like my chronic canine constipation, I can't pass a dog. I've got market hall constipation. I can't pass a market. Oh, I can see food. No, stop it, stop it. Well, a lovely little flower stall. Twisted lily. Ooh, Hermes's. And then we've got the bread stall. And then the cottage deli. And some nice veggies. Oh, what more could you want? Yes, that's a deli and a half. Lovely. Well, you can't fault them for trying, I suppose, when all's said and done. Oh, look, even a social influencer has a stall. Look at the name. Oh dear, this is the basement of the market hall. A little bit sad. Mr. Bezos, I hope you're watching this. You've caused all this. Either your Mississippi or your Liffey or your... Oh no, Amazon, that's it. Oh, saved by the phone shop with an F. Right, that's the misspelt sign off the ticking. Let's just see if we can get a spoons. And then we've got the old reliable Pound Bakery, advertising things in the window that don't cost a pound. Well, it's my pleasure. I bought a couple of cards and bits and pieces, and here we are back out at the town hall. Outside the shopping centre, well, you can't miss it, just spied this building in a very advanced state of disrepair. We'll go around the front and see what it's all about. Not really too sure what it is. It's for sale by auction. Shame though, it's still got the potential to be a nice building, and it just says here, well, yes, you can read the thing for you there. Sorry, we have closed. Well, I would have thought that's fairly obvious. That closed thing behind me was an HSBC bank. Still, it looks very, very in disrepair to have a sorry we're closed notice on it, but still. I thought that said stupid DJ. Look, we've got Oasis, and I presume that down there is their Wonderwall. And just found a pub that hasn't lasted the distance. Well, the local Conservative Club. That's an interesting looking building. The large windows all jutting out. Sorry, I can't think what the official thing is. Balconized windows, I don't know. Quite interesting, as are some of the old sort of Victorian features here. And a local passing by said that Burger Buns, she's a lovely lady. Goodness me, HYDE Nails and Co. And it seems that not just any old nails, she is the nail technician of the year. I can only assume she probably uses very high quality hammers and chisels. And then, boring I know it is, but this is the main road off out to Ashton-under-Lyne. And as you find with most towns, the old post office is quite an impressive building. And it's slap bang next to the HYDE Festival Theatre. And they seem to have a few nice acts coming on. Snow White, pantomime presumably. You've got the Grinch and High School Musical. And it's available for hire. And next to the HYDE Theatre, another impressive old building with some very interesting architectural detailing towards the top end of it. Well, not top end, the top part of it. Oh, there's Khyber shop. I think I'll pass. Did you get it? Khyber, pass. Oh, please yourselves. And then maybe my mantra of looking up is not quite as good as it should be, in as much as here's the old Central Library, called the Free Library, and you might just make out up there on the plaque, onward. Yes, in a complete state of disrepair. Once a fine old building, but I think it's fair to say it probably still is a fine old building. time for a barbecue. Goodness me, they must be making very big burger patties using such a big burger maker. I was asking about the parish church, which I'm sure I could see the spire somewhat in the distance. A few people sent me down here, but this is the Central Methodist Church. So I don't believe that will be the parish church. And, well, not a particular great outlook for churchgoers on a worship day, is there? Never mind. And naturally enough, in conjunction with the Trussell Trust, doing some great work for those who are struggling financially. Well, double yellow lines don't seem to attract much attention here somehow. I might be wrong. Maybe there's been instruction, no parking on the double yellow lines unless your wheels are thin enough to fit in between the two yellow lines, and that's the thing we saw earlier on above the shopping centre. Oh, there we go. A little bit of a misspelling there. Look at that. We found one. Next. And vapors. Well, and they mean well. And just off the town centre, the main road, the Market Street Road, we've got a typical suite of Victorian terraced houses. I know, pretty much the same as anywhere else. And then the perfunctory little free space. Take about 10 cars that SIP, which stands for Simple Intelligent Parasitism, have turned into a car park with the off chance of catching somebody over a few hours, and they can charge them £7,433 or send the heavy men round to collect the money. I must say, what did strike me as I wandered around was it's an incredibly friendly town. Everybody chats, says good morning or good afternoon. Well, if it's after 12 o'clock, it's good afternoon, but very, very welcoming. And as you can see, the great escape from the town via the M67. I suppose great fires and surrounds sort of qualifies for the misspelt shop sign, but not really. And there's the bus terminal. Isn't that exciting? Look, a bus terminal. Typical retail park, but I wonder what happens if your name is not Max. Just spied Aura the salon. I wonder when they're making Aura the musical and Aura the film. Well, that appears to be it, I'm afraid. Awfully sorry. I've never been to HYDE before. I just wanted to come down and have a look. I've been here, I've done it, and thank you for joining me. So until next time, take care and let's enjoy. Oh, look at that lovely sunshine. Let's enjoy the sun. All the best for now. Thanks for watching.